I love that moment. I love the juror, Attica, the one who's
That's actually true.
Is it?
My dad was on trial in 1970 for inciting riot, not trying to kill somebody, but it was of the time that he held a rally and he was arrested, and there was one black person on the juror.
Really?
And it was not a woman, it was a man, but he looked at my dad every day and let him know, you're going to be fine. You're not going to prison.
Fantastic moment, yeah. And you're also a screenwriter, aren't you, Attica?
Yeah, ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
And I must say, reading the book, I kept thinking of movies, particularly Chinatown, because Attica's book is about, oil and water, and about oil seeping up. And it reminded me of the beginning of Chinatown, where the water is all disappearing from Los Angeles.
Right. Yeah, there are, I take that as a great compliment, and there are similarities to it, definitely.
Yeah. But would you say that it was films or books that more of your influence? I mean, were you coming...
Well, it took me a long time to stop apologizing for being a screenwriter. I very much come to novels from a place of love and also disenchantment with Hollywood. And I thought that people wouldn't take me seriously as a screenwriter. So I thought I had to kind of put on a lot of literary airs about how I wrote. And I was reading a Pete Dexter novel, and it's in the present tense. And I remember the exact moment I sat up in bed and went, wait a second. I think my book should be in the present tense. And I think something about that, it opened up something in my brain to allow me to stop pretending to be something different, but go with, in a way, the present tense for drama, it's like my mother tongue, in a way. And it kind of opened me up to kind of be myself with it.
Yeah. And what about choosing Houston in the sort of early 80s? Because obviously you're much too young to actually remember.
Oh, no, I was there during that part of it.
Yeah, but you're...
But I was a fetus, no. Just kidding. No, I'm born and raised. I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas, and I am the child of political activists. So, my parents were making that transition from their youth and the political activism of their youth into the Reagan 80s when I was a kid. And I think the book was kind of an attempt to understand the people who raised me. When I used to look at pictures of my parents at marches and on courthouse steps and rallies, I would think, oh my God, they're heroes. Yeah. Now that I'm older, I look at those same pictures and say, they were children. Oh my God. I was so not doing that at 19. That was not doing anything like that. So I'm kind of, it's interesting to think of somebody who's engaged in all this kind of heady activity, and then you start your middle class life raising kids. Yeah. That it's this strange reversal, and I just thought that was fascinating.
Absolutely. And why did you choose to frame it as a murder mystery?
Well, first of all, it kind of, I kind of like to scare myself. it's kind of my thing. And I watch all of these, I don't know if you have these programs here, all these Datelines and 48 Hours Mystery, 60 minutes, all these dead woman in a ditch somewhere kind of shows. I watch all of them. So I'm kind of fascinated with all that stuff. But to be honest with you, this is a better book than the one I intended to write. Okay. I thought that I was going to write a very slick thriller. And then, I don't know, I tried something one day, and all the stuff about the movement came out, and I was terrified because I didn't know how it would fit, or if it would fit, or if you could get away with a thriller that was also a piece of history. I didn't know. But it was the book, so I just kind of went with it.
Well done. It's a fantastic book, again.